Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
Gives me an opportunity to show you the 8 letters that I have sent to you over the last year, only one of which have been replied to. So it gives me the opportunity to ask you the questions and try to get an answer. One of the things you're most famous for, and probably your quote of quotes, is we're going to go after the worst of the worst. The murderers, the pedophiles, the rapists, et cetera. In my letters, I said I agree with you on those things. People who are in this country illegally or not citizens who commit those crimes should be deported. But the facts show that most of the people that you have stopped and tried to deport have not committed any of those crimes. In fact, they've committed no crimes at all. I've got a study here from the Justice Department that shows that less than half as undocumented immigrants are less than half as likely as U.S.-born Americans to be arrested for homicide. And the pattern holds for assault, sexual assault, robbery, burglary, theft, and arson. And they're half as likely to be arrested for drug offenses. That's an NIJ study. In Tennessee, there was a study that was just in the Commercial Appeal, our local newspaper in Memphis, that shows the same, that they are very unlikely to commit offenses. For the folks that are here and your families, I'm sorry. It's terrible what happened to your children or your family members. But they are more likely, and citizens are more likely to be attacked by United States citizens who are not undocumented, who came here and are born here. They are more likely to commit these crimes. So why do you continue to talk about the worst and the worst when all the statistics show we're not stopping the worst and the worst? We're doing what Stephen Miller wants to do and set a record of deportations.
Can I respond to you now, sir?
I hope you will now.
Okay,
it's
good.
been a year.
Well, thank you for your letters, and we have responded to those. When I came into office, there was years of letters that Mayorkas did not respond to, that we had to backlog and respond to all the letters that he received as secretary. And in fact, one of those letters was 567 days old.
Just tell me about the letters I wrote you.
I have responded to over 1,490 letters that I've gotten from members of Congress.
You could have done 1,498 and done mine as well.
That's just individual letters. Sometimes they had 60 to 70 signatures on them, and we responded to every one of them.
Tell me about the worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst, sir, I think you've offended the families behind me today with that comment.
Did not intend to, and I think it's wrong for you to suggest it.
You're commenting on the fact that the individuals aren't violent reoffenders, and you keep talking about the fact that these individuals that are in this country illegally don't harm families.
No, I didn't say that. I said they're less likely than people born here. I didn't say that they don't do it.
The vast majority of these people behind me lost their children due to drugs, overdoses from drugs that came over the southern border. They died from their kids being hit on accidents on the roads that illegal drivers were driving. Truck drivers, Marcus Coleman and Delilah's father has told the story over and over again.
Oh, that's true and a given. That's true and a given, Ms. Noem, but you say you're only going after the worst of the worst, and you're not. Go after the worst of the worst. And if you did, people wouldn't find your department to be the worst department in the United States of America.
We do targeted enforcement based on intelligence and go after the worst of the worst. When we are on those enforcement actions, if there are people with those individuals, we confirm their identities as well to make sure that they have legal status in our country. We need to make sure that people understand that when you come into this country illegally, overstay a student visa, if you don't go in for your
I'm going to reclaim my time because
if you're out of legal status,
I'm reclaiming my time, Madam Secretary, please. That's one issue. Another issue is the fact of training. And an ICE Academy has Ryan Schwank, a former instructor in immigration and customs enforcement attorney, joined ICE in 2021 and resigned February 13 because he wanted people to know that he received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. He says the time, the studies, the constitutional law and deadly force have all been cut down. Instead of doing 8 hours a day, they do 12 hours a day. You've increased.
Sir, the gentleman you're referencing was detailed to FLETC for training for a couple of months. He's a trial attorney. He was never there before we changed the curriculum. He was only there for a couple of months after we had changed it and made sure that it was 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. All of the individuals received all the training they did before.
I've got 27 seconds left.
They also received
27 seconds left. I reclaim my time. I taught police law. You get more learning in the less time you give them. If you more time, they learn less because their brains start to go other places. Do you have any people that you've hired who were January 6 offenders?
Not that I know of.
Can you go in your records and tell me if anybody who you hired was a January 6th offender?
I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gentleman's
You're back
time
to
has
balance.
expired.